¿Qué pasó, guys? We're gonna do another reaction video today. Simo and the Digger versus Kyle Rayner came out today. So this is like today thing. It came out at 11. It's like currently 2 o'clock for me, but so I waited a little bit after the video came out to record this. It'll probably be uploaded later. But yeah, so we're gonna react to the death battle between Simo and the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. I For some reason I don't know. Like I said, if you guys watched the previous video or if you guys happen to find me, I'll just say this: I don't know if this is gonna be a one-sided fight for Kyle. I really don't know. I, I know Simon. I've watched Gurren Lagann, but I don't know how Death Battle's gonna interpret any of the feats. But I'm curious. So we're gonna watch that and let's see how Death Battle interpreted the fight. All right, let's start the video.
Simone the Digger.
Simone.
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
Kyle.
Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to
A little
analyze
higher.
their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Right here is fine.
Deep underground, Jiha village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Row, row, fight the power. Row, row, fight the power. That was still one of the better fucking songs, dude. This shit's dope. I love Gurren Lagann, as you can see, but like I said, I don't know how they're gonna do it. But this wasn't a necessary pause. I just kind of wanted to say row, row, fight the power. I couldn't fight the urge to do so.
his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Simone was a digger,
don't do
content to
Simone like
drill
that.
endlessly through the dirt
6'2".
until the day he found
Okay, is it just me or am I finding out that a lot of these like in a lot of these death battles, like I reacted to one, or like I think a while ago, that just got uploaded. I don't like this is the second death battle I reacted to, and I'm finding out that a lot of these characters are goddamn taller than me, man. 6'2", 6'2", feet, bro. You know, that them's the breaks, bro.
the
But
core
I did not know that.
drill.
A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his
There it is.
magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina
Hell
finally
yeah.
drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan.
With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its
Yes, it
tireless
is.
willpower and capable of making any weapon.
For those wondering, I'm looking this way because that's where the video is for me. So, like, if you guys are wondering why he's staring off in this direction, because that's where the video is. You guys just see it on the opposite
I
side, which
can
it looks trippy.
Including
It looks like, oh, is he
missiles,
even
a
looking at the video?
jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang,
No, I am.
and of course,
Drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills,
Drills.
and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is
Hell yeah.
so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
with Gurren Lagan's awesome
I
power,
mean,
Kamina laid waste to enemy forces.
the whole drill thing is because they're in, like, mining town. Makes sense. I think it's a cool concept, like using drills as a power. I think it's cool. It's unique, definitely.
human villages and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until
Okay,
Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed
Rest
to
in
happen?
peace, Kamina.
And it
You
was
beautiful
all
bastard.
Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness,
Yeah.
guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn.
Kamina was the one looking up to him.
I cried,
the
bro.
whole
I cried when
time.
that shit
It
happened.
was Simone who found Logon, Simone who pierced the surface, and
Remember, guys, believe in the you that believes in you. You know. Essentially, it's just a roundabout way of saying, if believe in yourself. That's crazy. The whole anime of Gurren Lagann was just believe in yourself and what you can do, which at times can get pretty scary, even even for someone like me. But it is inspiring.
Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit?
Yeah.
Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
It
Channeling
does.
spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simone can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions.
Okay.
He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Yep.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann.
So we have universal feats. Or galaxy feats, I think. Well, they did say he can open up portals in reality. So we have reality and universal feats, it looks like. Which I remembered, but I don't know, like, I know that the lanterns have some broken-ass abilities, too.
Which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions. All within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning, each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light.
Yes. Infinitely times faster than
Looks
light.
like this wins
So
the
damn
award
fast.
for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
That's a
Whoever,
pretty good speed feat,
SpongeBob,
by the way.
you've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't
You're using the
enough to escape
guidebook
the
for this.
Anti-Spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simone in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different, and after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself.
11D,
the
bro.
jump between dimensions is basically infinite.
Yeah.
Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely.
Yep.
Thus, an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just
Yeah, they say the fourth dimension is time because you don't really have a direction to go to. It just becomes like time. That might have changed. I don't know because I haven't really kept up on any studies, but yeah, as you go further, there's a new dimension and it starts to become really convoluted and confusing. I like the thought process, but I never really dove deep into anything beyond the fourth dimension. The idea of the fourth dimension or whatever, which exists. Sort of. It's a theory. Like, theory means that it's like a pending thing that they're still researching.
Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who was writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And
the
that
fuck?
author's spiral power
Okay.
made his fictional Simone
We're breaking
adding
everything, bro.
another to the mix.
I remember
If
this.
every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution.
That'd be cool.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Yep,
This
the
is when
most
Gurren
broken version of
Lagann
it.
Gets actually fucking crazy.
Yep. Like, guys, you can see the goddamn galaxies in the background.
Like,
Like, you see, like, the galaxies in the goddamn background. Like, this is multiversal level shit here.
Shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you.
Galaxies
Or
and
tossing
universes.
Galaxies around like frisbees.
Yep.
Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Yep, universes.
Power
They're
was
not
so
galaxies. I made the
advanced
same
that he
mistake.
started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension.
How are they alive?
encompassing
Is
the
my
universe.
question.
With it,
Only in
Zemo
anime can you
turns
come up
his
with something
thoughts
this
into
fucking
reality,
batshit crazy.
letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used Spiral
Oh, this
Power
really
to
is like the
survive
Green
Quantum
Lantern if it
Breakdown,
uses will.
Or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used Spiral Power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have Spiral Power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for
Wait,
the
you
anti-Spiral,
gotta will it to
Zemo
for it to
evolved
happen,
one
Boomstick. You gotta
more
will it.
time.
Into Super Tengen Topa Gurren Lagann!
And we get even more
This
broken.
mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And
Yeah.
with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simon and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Spirit.
Proving
Hell
Kama's
yeah.
words prophetic, that Simon's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
And it
With
did.
no
It did more than
worlds
just pierce the
left to
heavens.
conquer, Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
Inspiring shit, guys. Just recalling everything, dude. I got chills. Like I got goosebumps. Like just from recalling everything that Simon went through, bro, and Gurren Lagann, and the inspiration that he is. Man, dude, fuck. Literal chills, man. Fuck. God damn. Literal chills.
The universe
How the
is a
fuck?
dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an
Forgive me, I
interdimensional
coughed.
vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to
I remember
call.
that.
The Green Lantern Corps.
Yep.
They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was
Blue
everyone's
Leprechaun, and
favorite,
sort of.
Hal Jordan.
You
He's the
know
greatest,
him.
by the way.
You love him.
I don't want to hear it. Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern and is the best Green Lantern. Key point there, Green Lantern. If we're talking about White Lantern, Kyle Rayner is. But in terms of like his will, out of all the I think known Green Lanterns right now, I think he's the strongest. DC has changed a lot. I could be wrong, and it could be someone else. But from what I understand and what I know, Hal Jordan is the
You
strongest
might
Green Lantern.
hate him, but you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until
Yeah.
the day his will broke.
Oh yeah, it did
After
break.
his hometown got
Really good comic series,
completely
too.
obliterated, Hal lost his mind.
He did.
He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one
That's where
survivor
Parallax
of
comes from.
Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower
He's shorter
like Hal was?
than
He
Simone.
was there.
Six-
He had no
5'11".
idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence.
He's a
to
comic
figure out on
artist,
your
okay.
own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space
It says comic artist, Green Lantern, aka Ion, Parallax, Torchbearer. Likes Superman, Asian movies, Gamera. Dislikes DC editorial. I think a lot of people dislike DC editorial because a lot of some of their dark shit storylines. Not right now. The Absolute Universe is pretty. I think it's called Absolute, right? Absolute is pretty good. Like it's more dark and gritty, and created by the Tyrant God. Fuck his name. Darkseid. Yeah, that's really good. If you guys want to like know more about what's going on in the comics and want to read the Absolute series, they're really good. Batman punts a child in that one.
The Green
He straight up
Lantern ring
kicks
can
it.
do anything fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle
Predict,
stretched the very
verify.
fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's
Okay.
like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a speed force singularity.
Tapping into the speed force requires entering a higher dimension of space,
Yeah.
requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis
Ah,
on Infinite
Kilowog.
Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
Yeah.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the
Yep.
Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a
Okay, where the fuck did they get that? That statistic? A Spectre weighing as much as eternity? What? I thought he lived for eternity. How does that mean his weight? I don't know. Maybe someone can explain it to me in the comments or something. Because eternity? What the fuck?
0.3-dimensional Big Bang. Wait,
That's not even a
0.3?
measurement.
DC's
Or wait,
multiverse
eternity?
has 12.3
What the fuck?
dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever
Alright.
heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
Okay.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came
Yeah.
no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when
Yeah.
one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't
Okay,
the only
Jesus.
one traumatized. This moment was so
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, he's the complete opposite of Simone. Simone suffered but became stronger, you know? And shit. You know? He didn't struggle with this sort of. Well, he did struggle with doubt a little bit, but he ended up coming to his
a
own.
trope called fridging.
For how
Bridging.
female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it
Oh,
might
by the way, that fucking scene with Gwen, bro. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. God, I fucking hate Marvel writers and this fucking scene right here. This fucking scene. Look at me. The shit that they put Peter through. I fucking hate. Don't even get me started on fucking Paul. I wish that guy died, and the fucking writer who based that character off of him. Fuck you. I want to say fuck you, dude. That's fucking weird. Just so you can cuck. Don't even get me started on Spider-Man, and then the whole arc with, oh, by the way, Green Goblin, he fucked Gwen, and has impregnated her. What the fuck is wrong with Marvel writers, bro? And their obsession with fucking over Peter's life. This is a side tangent. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with the video, but seeing this, dude, just God, man. You killed the woman I love, and for that you're going to more than die, get erased from existence. To be honest, when I remember hearing that storyline with Norman, and I was like, dude, they gotta fucking. Whoever came up with that storyline for needs to get fired, and they gotta stop fucking doing this shit to Peter, bro. Give him a happy storyline for once. You guys do that for every other fucking hero. You give them a break from suffering, and you give them a little happy storyline. Do that shit for Peter, for the love of fucking God, please.
Female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to
sorry.
further a male character's development.
So it
Yes.
might surprise you that it
It's
happened
fucking
to
stupid,
Kyle again.
Kyle finally got serious.
course.
He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy. It's a long story. He had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
Yep.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion.
Mhm.
The yellow light of
Fear.
fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind.
Oof.
The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Yep.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing
Which
Kyle-
makes you feel like Batman would be a pretty good fucking Yellow Lantern considering the fear thing, but then he's also has a strong will, so he'd be a good Green Lantern. He'd be
not
honestly,
merely
he'd
his
fit
enemies'
both.
attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage,
Mhm.
ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and
Mhm.
allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion,
Compassion.
reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final
Yep.
one was the sapphire light of love.
Love, yeah.
With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love.
Self-love.
I get it.
Pretty cool idea though.
Nice.
I like
And
that.
with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights
He
of the
is the
spectrum
rainbow.
merged,
No,
and
he's
Kyle
light.
became
He's White
a
Lantern.
White Lantern.
We have apprehended
White Lantern, the Lantern of Life.
dangerous
There's a lot of
experiment.
ads, dude.
He
Jesus.
escaped.
I'm sorry.
With total control over the power of life.
Yep.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Powered by the physical embodiment of
Yeah.
all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Oh yeah.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the
Yep.
life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim.
Only DC would have a an equation that tells you, like, hey, dude, life is worth it. And another equation called the anti-life equation, which says, hey, no, life is stupid. Fucking, let it go. That's crazy.
Even threatening the new gods.
Only
like
DC would come up with that.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control
Of course it
and
did.
it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Sort of.
Hey,
Sort of.
remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.
I think what happened there, Toei happened. They own both of those properties, so. Yeah, I think the anime industry, they're very, very protective of their IP. So you gotta be careful with how you use it.
More good
Not all
content.
anime,
So check out
obviously, but
deathmetal.gg live right
Toei
now.
is one of the biggest ones, considering it's one of the oldest ones too.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for
For a death battle! You gotta say it, bro. You gotta. As cringy as that is, you gotta say it.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey, dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are? I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4!
4?
Oh, you fucking golfed this guy.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
Row, quiet the power.
Take it to for Gurren Lagann!
Okay. Oh, okay.
Really cool.
That is cool.
I'm a digger.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
Breakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Do the impossible, break the unbreakable. Dude, God damn it, bro. Was Kamen is such a fucking inspiration, man. Jesus, dude. Those. Yeah.
Simone the digger. If there's a wall in my way,
Way.
I'll smash it down.
The anti-life. I mean, the life equation. Who's gonna win this?
stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
What is going on here? What? Have faith in the you who believes in you, bro. Remember, guys. Take those words to heart. It pierced universes, bro. Like multiple universes, not just the heavens. That's sick. Drill versus drill. Who's gonna win? Infinity?
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night.
Night.
No evil shall escape
Hit
my,
my sight.
Let those who worship evil's
Evil's
might,
might.
beware my
Power. Green Lantern's light.
Green Lantern fly!
Dude, this shit is dope. Look at this, dude. He smashed the ring. Makes sense. Makes sense. Simone literally beat like 11D dimensional beings. Reiner never had a chance, I guess. I was wrong. I thought Reiner had it.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Go back. Let's go back.
You'd make a good lantern.
Yes. You,
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Simone is such a fucking Chad, bro. Simone and Kamina, man. Fuck.
These sunglasses.
When both combatants possess unlimited
no.
power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take
Yes,
speed.
it is.
Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When
Yep.
you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead,
Yes,
let's
yeah, it
analyze
does,
them
yeah.
through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower,
Power.
and their ultimate
Potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Yeah.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other
that makes
main
sense.
factor for both characters, the origin of their
I could,
unbelievable
I
their
agree with that.
willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here.
Yeah, no,
Since it's the
Simone
source of
definitely has
everything
way
for
more
both
will
of
than
them.
Kyle.
Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference.
Yeah.
This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
Yeah.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse
That's
Kyle's
good.
power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Yeah.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because
No.
if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
Okay.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can
Yeah.
constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant.
Okay,
Simone
yeah, that
made
insane.
himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle.
Yeah.
Especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that
No.
thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring
Okay, that
ran
makes
low
sense.
on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It
Yeah.
originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
It would have,
Too
yeah.
bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was
Yeah.
just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Yeah,
Compare to
that makes
Simone,
sense.
Who merged with a version of himself right
Totally
in a
makes sense.
version of Gurren Lagann.
Because he
And used
can't
his spiral power
control
to
it, he had to
make
separate the
fiction
power. Makes
into
sense with the
reality.
life
A
equation.
pretty similar level of reality to the life equation,
Mm-hmm.
and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always
Always be.
transcend Kyle's.
Yep.
Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway?
Yep.
That's Gurren Lagann
Yeah.
in a nutshell.
Pier-
So Simone's
pierce the
incredible
sky, bro.
potential
Pierce the
eclipsed
heavens, man.
Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary
Went
potential
beyond that.
would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone
Simone.
the Digger.
Dude,
Next time on Death Battle.
okay, that shit was dope. Simone, bro. You know what, dog? I should have believed in you, bro. I should have believed in you that believed in you. I thought Kyle, because I've read the comics, Lanterns do some insane shit. I also watched Gurren Lagann. I clearly didn't look into it enough when it came to the comics. But Simone, you did it. But your drill is the drill that can pierce the heavens. Fuck, that was dope. Honestly, I agree, and I'm okay with this ending, guys. Simone winning, I'm okay with that. That ends this video. So for those that are wondering, you guys can go subscribe to Death Battle. I'll put the link to our channel in the description, as well as a link to the video, so you guys can go like the video yourself. Obviously, don't forget to like my video too. I'll appreciate that. And subscribe. But yeah, this was a really good fucking death battle. If you guys wanted me to react to any older ones or anything like that, or even react to other kinds of videos too. Obviously, my channel is not going to be just plain reactions, but any future reactions you guys want me to see or react to, whether that be anime news or any new anime dropping or comics related, that type of thing, let me know, But otherwise, gracias. Thank you guys for for around this long, and adios.